Number 41. Carrie Grant. Carrie, the epitome of charm and sophistication in classic Hollywood, embodied the definition of a silver screen icon. With unforgettable roles in films such as An Affair to Remember and North by Northwest, he became the ultimate symbol of suave masculinity. On screen, his charisma was effortless, and his wit was captivating. But behind the camera, Grant's life was far more complicated. Unknown to many of his fans, he battled deeply rooted depression stemming from a traumatic childhood. At just 9 years old, Grant's world was upended when his mother was abruptly institutionalized, a truth hidden from him for over 2 decades. This unresolved pain lingered, casting a long shadow over his seemingly perfect life and fueling his silent mental health struggles. In the late 1950s, during the height of his stardom, Cary Grant sought alternative methods to confront his emotional turmoil. He turned to therapy and began experimenting with LSD, then a legal substance, as part of supervised psychiatric sessions. Grant openly credited the treatment with helping him unlock repressed memories and confront decades of emotional wounds. While audiences were shocked to learn the beloved star had turned to such unconventional means, Grant's candidness about his mental health struggles was groundbreaking in an era when vulnerability was often stigmatized, especially for men in Hollywood. Despite his courage in addressing these issues, the industry largely ignored his admissions, preferring to focus exclusively on the polished, charming persona he projected. Cary Grant's journey remains a testament to the hidden struggles even the most iconic figures face, and how mental illness can persist and within lives that appear golden. Number 42. Richard Burton. Richard's stormy personal life made headlines as often as his powerhouse performances. A Shakespearean-trained actor who commanded the silver screen in films like Cleopatra and Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, Burton battled mental illness exacerbated by alcoholism. Known for his tumultuous relationship with Elizabeth Taylor, their dramatic highs and lows mirrored his own internal struggles. Burton's alcoholism wasn't just a personal issue, it became Hollywood's worst-kept secret. At various points in his career, his drinking cost him roles and alienated collaborators. Behind his deep voice and magnetic performances was a man struggling to stay afloat. Burton once admitted in interviews that he lived with constant anxiety and insecurity, despite his fame. Though he tried rehabilitation programs numerous times, his drinking issues took a toll on both his career and health, ultimately contributing to his untimely death in 1984 at age 58. Number 43. Rock Hudson. Rock was one of the towering figures of Hollywood's golden age. A leading man in classics like Pillow Talk and Giant, Hudson was the picture of effortless charm and confidence on screen. With his striking good looks and magnetic presence, he quickly ascended to heartthrob status, adored by fans worldwide. But away from the glitz and glamour, Hudson privately battled anxiety and depression, consumed by the pressures of keeping his true self hidden. As a closeted gay man in a ruthlessly image-driven and discriminatory era, he was forced to maintain a meticulously curated public persona, enduring the crushing weight of secrets in an unforgiving industry. While Rock Hudson's later life is often synonymous with his public AIDS diagnosis, a moment that changed the cultural conversation around the disease, it is less well known that he grappled with deep emotional struggles throughout his career. The chronic fear of exposure, paired with Hollywood's refusal to let him live authentically, magnified his mental health challenges. Hudson's depression was rooted not only in his personal isolation, but also in the systemic stigma of the time, which dictated how he could exist both professionally and personally. His plight highlights the enormous toll exacted by living a double life, a burden that extended far beyond the silver screen. Despite his outward image of invincibility, Hudson's story reminds us of the hidden struggles behind even the brightest stars and the harsh realities faced by those forced to choose between their truth and the world's acceptance. Number 44. Kim Novak. Kim, celebrated for her ethereal beauty and roles in classics like Vertigo, epitomized the glamour of mid-century cinema. But behind her poised appearances, Novak was hiding a lifelong struggle with bipolar disorder. The actress often described Hollywood as a hostile environment for vulnerability, which made it difficult for her to seek help without fear of judgment. Novak endured criticism and scrutiny from both the media and the film industry, with many labeling her difficult when she took time off to deal with her mental health. The actress retreated from the limelight during the peak of her career, trading the chaotic world of Hollywood for a quieter life of painting and self-healing. Her story is one of triumph against the stigma, as she later emerged as an advocate for mental wellness. Number 45, Sammy Davis Jr. Sammy, one of the most multi-talented performers of his time, seemed larger than life. As a member of the Rat Pack, his charisma shined through his music, acting, and comedy. However, Davis often grappled with depression, exacerbated by racism and ostracization. His interracial marriage and his stance on civil rights made him a target of both public and private scorn. What, coupled with his mental health challenges, was the strain of a grueling career, where he faced constant pressure to outshine his peers, especially as one of the few black superstars of his era. Davis turned to alcohol and drugs to medicate his inner pain, creating a self-destructive cycle that haunted him throughout his career. Despite his struggles, Davis's resilience inspired countless artists who followed in his footsteps. Number 46, Brian Wilson. Brian isn't just an actor. He's a towering icon in the music world, celebrated as the creative force behind the Beach Boys. His genius in crafting timeless melodies and harmonies gave rise to some of the most beloved songs in American pop history. Yet Wilson's unparalleled musical talent came hand in hand with severe struggles with mental illness, casting a shadow over his acclaimed career. Diagnosed with schizoaffective disorder and depression, his journey is marked by a blend of brilliance and profound torment, a duality that shaped both his music and his life. During the peak of the Beach Boys' success in the 1960s, Brian Wilson began to experience harrowing auditory hallucinations and debilitating anxiety, manifestations of his mental health disorders. These challenges led him to withdraw from the band, retreating into a period of isolation that would span decades and alter the path of his career. His absence marked a stark contrast to the soaring harmonies and sunlit sounds he helped create. However, Wilson's remarkable resilience saw him make a comeback in the 1990s, regaining a place in the hearts of his fans and resuming his creative journey. His legacy, while punctuated by influential music, serves as a poignant reminder of the impact untreated mental health issues can have, capable of derailing even the brightest careers. Brian Wilson's story highlights the importance of understanding and addressing mental health, emphasizing that behind the musical icon was a man bravely confronting his struggles, hoping to find harmony not just in his music, but within himself. Number 47. Peter Sellers. Peter, famous for the Pink Panther series, was a comedic genius whose performances left audiences in stitches. However, his personal life was anything but comedic. Sellers lived with extreme mood swings, which today would likely be classified as bipolar disorder. His unpredictable behavior often alienated colleagues and friends, leading to a career marked by brilliance and chaos. Sellers struggled to maintain relationships, with a string of marriages and professional partnerships crumbling under the pressure of his erratic moods. Despite his personal battles, he remained a revered figure in Hollywood. Yet his fame and fortune couldn't save him from the toll his mental illness took on both his career and his physical health. Number 48. Margot Kidder. Best known as Lois Lane in the Superman franchise, Margot's struggles with bipolar disorder became alarming when she experienced a public mental health crisis in 1996. Found wandering and disoriented in Los Angeles, her plight made national headlines. This incident laid bare the stark realities of Hollywood's failure to support actors with mental health challenges. Kidder's openness about her diagnosis helped destigmatize mental illness, but the fallout impacted her career. Roles grew scarcer, and she pivoted to advocacy work. Her story demonstrates how the combination of fame and mental illness often leaves stars without a safety net, forced to navigate their battles in the unforgiving public eye. Number 49. Vivian Vance. Known for her portrayal of Ethel Mertz in I Love Lucy, Vivian appeared to be a woman who radiated joy, but privately, Vance endured lifelong struggles with depression. Her complicated relationship with co-star Lucille Ball and the pressures of being typecast led to bouts of hopelessness and a painful sense of inadequacy. Vance worked hard to keep her struggles hidden, fearing it would hurt her reputation if the press caught wind of her depression. Despite the challenges, she became an enduring symbol of warmth and wit. However, her story underscores the emotional cost of maintaining Hollywood's illusion of perpetual happiness. Number 50, Corey Feldman. Corey Feldman rose to stardom as a child actor in the 1980s, starring in cult classics like The Goonies and Stand By Me. However, his early fame came at the cost of emotional stability. Feldman has openly shared his experiences with childhood abuse in the entertainment industry, which contributed to severe mental health struggles in adulthood. Hollywood's indifference to Feldman's suffering has been a recurring theme, leaving him to fight battles largely on his own. His advocacy for survivors of abuse has reignited conversations about accountability in Hollywood, but his career has never fully recovered. Feldman's story reveals the silent suffering child stars endure and the failure of the system meant to protect them. Behind the shimmering facade are people battling invisible demons, while the spotlight burns ever brighter on them. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more content like this. If you want to hear more about other stars who endured depression and mental health issues, click on the next video and join us as we delve deeper into Hollywood's complex relationship with mental wellness. See you there.